Big Brother, mainstream media, government cover-ups. You want answers? Well, so does he. He's Alex-Jones on the GCN Radio Network. And now, live from Austin, Texas, Alex-Jones.
Coming up, we're going to cover the waterfront with Hagman and Hagman, father and son duo from the Northeast Intelligence Report. We're going to cover the waterfront and open the phones up. At the bottom of the third hour, we're going to have John Bound in here to give his review. InfoWars Nightly News reporter and investigative journalist John Bound will be in here to give us his take on the interview. I've not seen it yet. I am boycotting it. We downloaded it and bought it off Google when they launched it Wednesday to analyze it, and that even felt immoral. They staged a false flag to promote it. That's basically come out, but we'll be looking at that and breaking that down coming up. We'll have open phones with our guests for your questions, your comments. What do you think the big globalist threat is in 2015? Do you think they're bold enough to pull a false flag, even though folks are aware of terrorist false flags? That's just some of the news that's going to be coming up here today. We're also going to look at economics and what it signifies that Japan's in so much trouble with their savings rate turning negative. I'll also look at Congress's backroom pension cutting deal. It's even worse than expected, as the LA Times reports. I didn't get to this before Christmas when I saw it in the news Wednesday, so we're going to get to it today. Fountain Green holds first Christmas light parade for terminally ill girl, and it mentions this poor little 6-year-old, quote, dying of a brain disease. And there's never a discussion about why these neurological disorders are exploding in the old and the young, and how they're directly linked to GMOs, vaccines, you name it. 30,000 Christmas cards were sent into this sweet little 6-year-old, and they had a big first-ever parade in the town for it. I think that's very sweet and good. It shows how folks will go out of their way over sentimental issues and for children. But they use our love of children to try to restrict the Second Amendment, implying guns hurt children, as if guns cause the problem themselves, not bad people. And imagine if we could get every town upset about the private Federal Reserve and the New World Order enough to send in 30,000 Christmas cards or have parades, just not even demonstrations, but parades to rediscover America. But see, people go out and demonstrate for something that feels good and feels safe and doesn't feel controversial. And it is that innate political correctness where folks will only go out and demonstrate for the love of a 6-year-old girl. I think that's the essence of the Christmas spirit. So I salute the people that did it, but they need to engage the bigger issues if we're ever going to have any hope. And look, it's a start. Just 10, 15 years ago, we all remember they were taking down crosses, Christmas trees everywhere. They were telling kids, don't hand out Christmas cards, don't give each other presents at lunch the day before you get out of school, as if free association wasn't okay to begin with. They could have been handing out baseball cards at lunch. It's their free speech. They could have been handing out Hare Krishna pamphlets. It's their free speech. So in a way, it is good to, Merry Christmas, do all this just to counter the political correctness, even if you weren't a Christian. As if the consumerism's even about Christ. It's a holiday anybody can celebrate in its modern amalgamation. But just imagine on the hardcore issues of GMOs and fluoride in the water, or all these wars they're starting, or just a host of issues, the private Federal Reserve. If we could cover those issues and get the same fervor, our problems would be over in a flash. But we're reaching that tipping point. That's why the system's moving in to try to start a civil war beforehand. 2015 is almost here, and with it comes those New Year's resolutions to finally transform your body the way you want it. There's a reason over 88% of New Year's resolutions fail. Make this year different by equipping yourself with Oxy Powder, the next level in cleansing the body naturally. Using super oxygenation, Oxy Powder, available through InfoWarsLife.com, gently cleanses the body while you sleep with easy capsules. Tens of thousands of individuals have used Oxy Powder to cleanse their bodies and aid in their transformations. Even InfoWars Nightly News Director Rob Dew has been using Oxy Powder with incredible success.
Took it that first day, and then I took it for 6 more days after that. 12 pounds melted off in about a week. I'd say a week, 7 days.
2015 can be different. Diet and exercise are important, but a lot of us have already tried that. Oxy Powder flushes it out. Secure your Oxy Powder at InfoWarsLife.com. That's InfoWarsLife.com or 888-253-3139.
As the year is coming to a close, we all pause to reflect on what's happened in the past year. We take a step back and thank God for what we have. I'm David Hall, founder of Diamond Gusset Jeans. At Diamond Gusset, we are celebrating the brush fires of liberty that are spreading across this great nation. Another thing we are celebrating is you. Without the valued listeners of Alex-Jones and our loyal customers, we wouldn't be here today. We offer a wonderful online shopping experience. If you receive a pair that doesn't fit, send them back and we'll exchange them at no cost to you. Beat the shopping rush by visiting us at gusset.com and join our email newsletter to receive some great holiday discounts. And paying no attention to political correctness, Diamond Gusset wants to wish you all a Merry Christmas. Thanks for believing in our dream, the original 100% American-made Diamond Gusset jean.
Sold out for weeks due to the difficult and extensive proprietary process behind its creation, the exclusive InfoWars Life Secret 12 formulation is now back in stock in the last limited shipment of 2014. The most bioactive form that has been created with our proprietary process. This ultra-clean vitamin B12 nutraceutical has been carefully crafted and developed over the last 2 years and is based on cellular science of how your body actively absorbs essential nutrients. Secret 12 is taken by mouth, right on the tongue, and then swallowed. No needles, no injections. Vitamin B12 deficiency is linked to scores of serious problems. And Secret 12 is a fusion of 2 organic proprietary forms of vitamin B12, bringing you a true nutraceutical quality vitamin B12. Secret 12. Secret 12 is an excellent Christmas gift and is tailor-made to boost your New Year's resolutions. Supplies of Secret 12 are very limited. Secure yours today at InfoWarsLife.com or by calling toll-free 888-253-3139.
From his Central Texas Command Center, deep behind enemy lines, the information war continues. It's Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.
At the bottom of the hour, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to open the phones up for any questions or comments you have on the wide range of topics we're going to be breaking down today with Doug and Joe Hagman, father and son team, private investigators, Homeland Security US.com, Hagman and Hagman. They have their own popular online vlog that reaches millions. And, of course, they're frequent guests here and on coasttocoastam.com. I wanted to get them back on to ask them what they see as the biggest globalist threat, what they expect the New World Order to engage in 2015. They're clearly moving to implode Japan's economy, Russia's economy, the criminal groups that run our nation are on record saying that they're crash the Russian ruble, which will then affect the EU, will then affect Japan. Japan's economy is in free fall right now. Their savings rate is now, well, here's the headline, game over, savings rate turns negative, Japanese economy begins to implode, zero hedge. But about a month ago, it was revealed that Japan's shadow economic advisor is none other than Paul Krugman. We said it was only a matter of time before the Japanese economy implodes, terminally. We didn't have long to wait, and last night, the barrage of Japanese economic data pretty much assured Japan's transition into a failed Keynesian status system. And then they go through breaking it down. In fact, after last night's abysmal Japanese economic data, we doubt even the most lobotomized Keynesian voodoo priest have anything favorable left to say about the system. Not only did core inflation miss expectations and is now clearly in slowdown mode, despite Japan's openly monetizing all gross treasury insurance. Not only did industrial production decline 0.6%, missing expectations on an increase, and its record first decline in 3 months, with durable goods shipments crashing. Not only did consumer spending plunge for the 8th straight month, dropping 2.5 in November, with real spending on housing in 20% free fall, but the punchline, with nominal and real wages imploding, with total cash wages and overtime pay declined for the first time in 9 months and 20 months, respectively. And they go over it. Now, why does that matter? We're told they've lowered oil prices to get the global economy going. But separately, OPEC and others in the last year made deals for 2 reasons. Shut down the Russian economy that's based on oil and gas, plunge the ruble, but also shut down burgeoning oil exploration and shale exploration in Canada, the United States, and Mexico, but mainly Canada and the United States. That is the only growing sector. If you look at the fake numbers, there's other growing sectors, but if you look at shadow stats and others, the only growing sector is oil and gas. It is propping up the Texas boom, the Dakotas boom, and so many other areas of the country. It's creating real jobs. And the Saudi princes are on record, even in the last issue of The Economist. It broke down the sheiks versus the wildcatters. And they are lobbying at state and federal level to shut down. Obama has cut the number of permits by close to 40% the last 6 months, won't let people drill. There is a concerted effort to shut Russia off and shut the U.S. off. And they sell it like, yeah, we're getting those Ruskies. Look at their ruble plunge. Yay! Well, that's going to drag Europe and then Japan down. Thanks to fracking, U.S. will pass Saudi Arabia in oil production. Again, that's a report from March. Well, not now with what Obama's doing. So what I'm getting at is there's this rigged global economy. We think as Americans or Chinese or Germans or Russians or Mexicans, Venezuelans, South Africans, but really it's just these big globalist operations. There's Bloomberg. The relentless production of shale oil is breaking OPEC's neck. That's Bloomberg. See? The only reason I show you these headlines is this is not my opinion. This is admitted this is going on. So there's an economic war going on, not between the U.S. and Russia. The U.S. is the muscle being used to destroy Russia economically right now. But that also hurts us. So why is it being done? It's also immoral to try to stop Russia selling its oil and gas. That would drive down prices at a reasonable level and would regionally distribute the energy systems. Instead, they're shutting them off to cause a global recession into depression in some areas, which will cause more global unrest, more global destabilization, which the large central banks use to buy up and consolidate power and control in their own words. So that's why I'm hammering on the Federal Reserve today, the European arm of a private banking cartel inside the U.S., so that people think about the top of the pyramid, the all-seeing eye, and not blacks and whites killing each other, not people randomly shooting cops, not cops thinking as the public as enemies, as we all descend on each other like a bunch of idiots. And I played this clip probably 30 times. I want to play it again. Can we cue up From Russia to Love at the start of the film where they plan to play off? And then we'll keep our guests a little bit in the next hour. And this is based on Ian Fleming's real things that happened that the spy chief then put into fiction to get around the classification rules, where there were banking cartels that were offshore, literally on yachts, manipulating different criminal groups and playing the Russians and the U.S. off against each other for economic gain. This is how the real world works. Let's go to the film from the 1960s.
Siamese fighting fish, fascinating creatures, brave but on the whole stupid. Yes, they're stupid.